I said I saw two paths unfold before me, the best and the worst. Today we are going to focus on the worst, because right this moment, it seems like the answer to the question you're asking. Well, Matt, what happens to you? That's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked. Let's discuss, shall we? I can try to lift it with my left hand. See what I mean? Everything I do becomes therapy. You'll never do it if you don't try. And when you do try, you may not do it pretty or right, but at least you tried. And you can learn to make it pretty and right. First and foremost, the absolute most important part of the equation for me is Cuddlebug and the cat. Let's not worry so much right off the bat about what happens to me. Let's worry about them. But don't worry, it's all covered. Cuddlebug is going to move here to their old room, my old room, up into Old Geistopia. Her and the cat are going to come here. They will be fine. Enough said. Mission accomplished. Don't care about the rest. You may be thinking you don't care what happens to you. Dude, what's there to care about? There is only one option right this moment. There's only one way this goes for me, and I go back to my car. That's what happens for me. It may be 3 months, it may be 6 months, it may be a year, I don't know, but that's where I go from here. That's my only option under current circumstances and time frames. Chill. I may seem a little about it, and I suppose if I'm being honest, I am a little about it. Not at anyone in particular. I needed to get my device working, get my time in. Puzzle pieces, puzzle pieces, puzzle pieces. Gotta make it fit and quick, while at the same time getting it cleaned up and where I needed it to be for like the last 3 years or more. I'm not sure I'm wearing the device right. I'm not sure it's firing properly. But the only way to find out is to keep trying it and experimenting it. So I go back to my car. Before you hoot and holler and make a fuss over that, listen, we did this once already, right? I've done this. I know what to expect. I know what I'm dealing with. Things are a little bit different now than they were then. That's why I say, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, a year, we'll see. But that's where I go, and we'll see where I go from there. It's a shitty way to live, but I'm me. I always find ways to make the most of things. This is a box. A what? A box. A what? A box. Oh, a box. So it's a shitty way to live, but I can always find my way. Thank you, Belle. I really love that phrase. Let's start with, there could be advantages to it, and we'll circle back to that. In regards to living in the car, it sucks. I'll lose a lot of the progress I've made because I won't be using my arm. However, the absolute worst part about, I know you're wondering, well, why don't you go to Old Geistopia too? Hold on, we're getting around to that. I should have mentioned it. But the worst part, the absolute worst part of living in my car before for me was overnight parking. Finding a safe, secure, legal place to park overnight. It's actually, there's no such thing, not all together in one. So I've made arrangements for that. I can't move here. There is no more room. There is room for one more person and a cat, and they must take that space. She's got her whole life ahead of her. She's got 2 years of college to finish. Her life is not getting so turned upside down that she can't get through it. At least here, she can get through it. And she's in a safe space, a familiar space. Like, it won't be what it was, but she'll be fine. Amen. But that means I can't come here. Not that I could anyway. I'd never survive that. However, I may park in the driveway overnight so that I have a place to go and I don't have to worry about shit. I can just come here and hang out, do my thing. I forgot how hot and stuffy it gets in here, especially since the tree fell down on the roof. But that's another story. That alone makes this not a terrible journey. I'm telling you, that was the worst part. In fact, that's the part that ended me up at the house, at the homestead in the first place, camping out, because I needed to move from the spot I was in. I was getting too much state police attention every frickin' night. The other difficult, annoying thing was showering. I had joined the gym and I would go there 2 to 3 times a week and shower. Again, to save me that, I have made arrangements to use this one on the first floor I'm assuming that's the one. I said I would treat it just like going to the gym. I won't keep anything there. I'll carry it in and out, keep it in my bag in the car, just so I don't have to pay that money or deal with that. I can come here and shower when I need to shower, and like I don't have to worry about it being busy over there, because that was always the thing. I had to try to time my shower around busy or I couldn't get the shower. All right, so let's put the heavy ass box in. It's really cold back there. Well, that was fun. It was already a box that I was struggling with, but then every time I take a step, I got an electric shock going into my leg. The third and final aggravation is pooping. There are places and there are ways, and I've used them, and I don't have time to be proud about some of the bathrooms that I have. Too proud for some of the bathrooms that I have been in, because when you gotta go, you gotta go. I won't use it all the time, but at least I know it's there. I mean, there are... Those are my three big hang-ups. Worst case scenario for pooping, the other two, we're good to go. After that, my food expense multiplies exponentially because I can no longer do groceries or leftovers, nothing frozen, nothing refrigerated. It's pretty much eat and toss. Those are my options. I've done it before. As long as I have EBT, I can pick up some groceries, like things to snack on or to fill my stomach in between, because my mission before was one meal a day, because that's what I could afford. Everything else was like I'd buy a box of donuts and that's what I would snack on throughout the day for like 3 days. A box of donuts and a box of Cheez-Its. So there's that, but I just have to see how I maneuver through it. Same with gas expense. I don't know how that's going to change, because I'm going to have to be running the car all day, every day to stay cool. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it at night, but because I can't run the car all night and the air doesn't really work. So that's going to be an adventure to figure out. But so gas will, on the upside, for as long as I am still getting the disability, that covers a great deal of my monthly expenses without the rent, without the electric, without the Wi-Fi, without the miscellaneous expenses for paper towels or gas for the mower or light bulbs. And the money left to make to survive and get by is pretty minimal per week. So I can choose to make a little more and try to get ahead, which of course I'm sure I will do to some extent, but I also have the golden advantage. As long as I'm paying my bills and surviving, that's all I freaking care about at this point. I'm done. I'm done trying and worrying and stressing and pushing towards some future, some life that I guess I'm not supposed to have. As long as I am paying my bills and surviving, I don't care about. As long as I keep my ratings with Dasher, I can dash almost anywhere and make some money while I explore and adventure. And so there could be plenty of advantages. We're not gonna turn that frown upside down. We're not gonna sweat it, even though it looks like I actually am.